Who is stronger, Elektra or Daredevil? Does that mean they are both stronger than Captain America? In the heart of New York City, where neon lights twinkle like lost stars in a concrete sky, a figure moves silently across the rooftops. He is Matt Murdock, also known as Daredevil, the man without fear. Blinded at a young age by a chemical accident, he has developed heightened senses that allow him to perceive the world in a way no one else can. Every heartbeat, every breath, every whiff of wind becomes a living map in his mind. Daredevil is more than a fighter. He is a symbol of justice, a street fighter who has trained himself to the pinnacle of humankind. Not far away, in the dark alleys of Hell's Kitchen, a mysterious female assassin glides through the night. She is Elektra Natchios, the daughter of a Greek diplomat, trained by ninja masters. Her skills are unmatched, with deadly stabs from her sharp metal biceps. Elektra does not fight for justice. She fights for survival, for ghosts of the past and secret missions. Her style is one of speed and damage, each strike aimed at finishing off her opponent quickly and without mercy. These two people, once lovers, once enemies, now stand on the same side. They have recreated the ancient organization known as Fist to fight against the dark force known as the Hand, a group of demonic ninjas with ambitions of dominating the underworld. After a sacred marriage ritual, they and the other members of Fist have received supernatural abilities, strength, speed, and agility beyond human limits. These upgrades turn them into powerful beings, ready to confront any threat. Matt Murdock was born into a poor family in Hell's Kitchen. His father, a professional boxer, taught him how to get up after every fall. A chemical accident years ago not only robbed him of his eyesight, but also gifted him with a radar sense, allowing him to sense his surroundings with remarkable precision. He can hear the heartbeats of enemies from afar, predicting movements before they happen. Combined with martial arts skills honed by masters like Stick, Daredevil became one of the top 10 martial artists in the Marvel Universe. His fighting style emphasizes agility and strength, using a billy club as a versatile weapon, which can be transformed into a nunchaku or rope. Elektra, on the other hand, had a more complicated journey. Born into wealth, she attended Columbia University, where she met Matt. But her father's death drove her into the underworld, where she was trained by the Hand and later betrayed them. Her skills are slightly superior to Daredevil's, thanks to her focus on speed and lethality. She can move like a ghost, impaling enemies before they can react. Over the years, Elektra has died and been resurrected several times, each time becoming more powerful, with limited hypnosis and mind control. Their recent collaboration has changed everything. The Fist, the ancient organization, was reborn to fight the Hand. The sacred marriage ritual not only binds their souls, but also grants them supernatural powers. This power comes from an ancient energy source, allowing their bodies to surpass their physical limits. Daredevil is now not only agile, but also has the strength to lift tons. Elektra, with her speed, becomes a whirlwind of death, able to dodge bullets and attack with increased force. In this context, Elektra demonstrated her new powers in a memorable battle. In the recent Daredevil and Elektra series, she went toe-to-toe with Captain America and Black Panther, two icons of Avengers power. Captain America, Steve Rogers, is the pinnacle of humanity, with a super serum that enhances her strength, speed, and endurance. Black Panther, T'Challa, King of Wakanda, possesses vibranium armor and the power of a herb-shaped heart. Elektra, with her supernatural enhancements, held them off for a while, proving her equal, but she was eventually overpowered by their superior strength. Rain fell heavily on the rooftops of New York's skyscrapers, creating a cacophony of sound and darkness. Atop an old building in Hell's Kitchen, Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, stood silent, his senses spread out like an invisible web. Every drop of rain hitting the ground, every rustle of wind, was vividly perceived by him. His radar sense, a gift from a childhood chemical accident, allowed him to see the world in a way no one else could. Tonight, he was not patrolling to hunt criminals. Tonight was a test of strength, a hypothetical confrontation with his familiar but mysterious companion, Elektra Natchios. Elektra emerged from the darkness, a ghostly figure gliding through the rain. The metal bipods in her hands glinted under the streetlights, sharp and deadly. She didn't say a word, just smiled slightly, a smile that was both challenging and seductive. "Ready, Matt?" she whispered, her voice soft but laced with danger. It wasn't the first time they'd tested each other, but this time was different. The supernatural powers of the Fist organization had elevated them to new heights, transforming their bodies into fighting machines far beyond human limits. Elektra struck first, lightning fast. She lunged, her wings swinging with a speed that made the air vibrate. The blades aimed straight for Daredevil's shoulders, but he'd expected it. His radar sense picked up the slightest change in her movements, from the rapidity of her breathing to the way her muscles flexed. He leaned, dodging with surprising agility, then countered with a powerful spinning kick. Elektra flipped in midair, avoiding the kick easily, then landed a jab back at his chest. The fight became a dance of death. Elektra moved like the wind, each blow precise, aimed at weak points like the neck, the knee, or the ribs. She wasn't just fast, she was ruthless incarnate, honed by years of training with the hand and martial arts masters. But Daredevil was no slouch. He used his signature billy club to block attacks. His club transformed into an nunchaku, then a rope, allowing for unexpected strikes. His heightened senses allowed him to predict Elektra's every move, from her increased heart rate to her altered breathing. After hours, the two stopped, standing a few meters apart, panting in the rain. The ground around them was covered in scratches from Elektra's sai and the impacts from Daredevil's club. Neither had a clear winner. Elektra, with a slight edge and skill, could have finished her opponent in a real fight due to the speed of her attacks. But Daredevil, with his radar sense, had the advantage in anticipation and defense. "You're better than before, Matt," Elektra said, wiping the rain from her face. "But if I wanted you to, you'd be down." Daredevil smiled, replying, "Only if I hadn't heard your heartbeat first, Elektra." In the pages of Daredevil and Elektra, their world has become more complicated than ever. A major conflict has brought Elektra into conflict with two powerful icons of the Avengers, Captain America and Black Panther. This battle is not only a test of strength, but also a chance for Elektra to prove that she, with the superpowers of Fist, can stand up to the greatest warriors. Captain America, Steve Rogers, is the embodiment of the American ideal. His super serum has transformed him into the pinnacle of humankind, with strength, speed, and endurance far beyond that of ordinary humans. His vibranium shield is not only a defensive weapon, but also a deadly offensive tool, able to be thrown and returned with pinpoint accuracy. Black Panther, T'Challa, King of Wakanda, wields the power of a heart shaped like a herb, combined with bulletproof vibranium armor and razor-sharp claws. He's more than a warrior. He's a strategist, using his wits and technology to outmaneuver his enemies. The battle takes place in an abandoned warehouse in suburban New York, where Elektra is ambushed. Captain America attacks first, throwing his shield at incredible speed. Elektra, aided by her superhuman speed from Fist, dodges easily, her blade swinging, creating a sharp cut in the concrete floor. She charges forward, launching a flurry of attacks, aiming for Steve's neck and chest. But Captain America is no pushover. He blocks the blow with his shield, then counters with a powerful punch, forcing Elektra back. Black Panther enters the fray, moving like a ghost, his vibranium armor absorbing every blow Elektra makes. He uses his claws, trying to lock her in a grapple. But Elektra, with her superhuman agility, spins free, then stabs back at a speed that makes the air whistle. For several minutes, she held her own, facing them both at once. Every strike was precise, every movement an art. She was no longer just a human, she was a being beyond limits. But the raw power of Captain America and Black Panther eventually prevailed. Steve used strategy, predicting Elektra's movements and blocking her escape. T'Challa, with his armor and speed, locked her in a moment of off guard. Elektra fell, but not without leaving a mark. She had kept the two icons on their toes, proving that her skills were equal, even superior in some respects, even if her raw power was still less. If Daredevil had been present, the result might have been similar. His radar sense allowed him to predict movements, but lacking full superpowers, he might have had a harder time than Elektra. However, with upgrades from Fist, both can face off against Captain America and Black Panther. The Fist organization has a history stretching back thousands of years, founded by ancient warriors with the mission of protecting the world from the Hand, a group of demonic ninjas who use dark magic to manipulate souls and control the underworld. The Hand, with leaders like Gorgon and the immortal ninja, is a constant threat. They once trained Elektra, turning her into the perfect assassin, but she betrayed them and chose her own path. Daredevil, with his superior senses, has thwarted the Hand's plots many times, from resurrecting ancient monsters to taking the souls of innocent people. When Matt and Elektra recreate the Fist, they are not just rebuilding an organization, they are creating a new army, blessed with ancient energy. The sacred marriage between them is the key to unlocking this power. In a moonlit ceremony, at an ancient temple hidden deep in the forest, they pledge their love, but also their mission. The energy from this ritual flows through their bodies, increasing their strength, speed, and agility. They become nearly immortal beings, with the ability to heal quickly and the strength to lift tons. But this power comes at a price. The Hand relentlessly hunts them down, viewing Fist as their greatest threat. During a massive battle in Tokyo, the Hand launches an all-out attack, using immortal ninja and dark magic. Daredevil and Elektra lead the Fist army, facing hundreds of enemies. Elektra, like a whirlwind, cuts through the ninja formation, her pair of slings dripping with blood. Daredevil, with his radar sense, detects magical traps and leads his teammates away from danger. The battle lasts for days, leaving behind burned ruins and exhausted warriors. Fist wins, but at a heavy price. Many members are sacrificed, and Elektra must face the ghosts of her past, as memories of her time as an assassin for the Hand resurface. As dawn breaks over New York, Daredevil and Elektra stand on a rooftop, overlooking the city they swore to protect. The question of strength, of who is stronger, now pales in comparison to what they have been through. Elektra, with her superior skill and lethal speed, is a formidable fighter. Daredevil, with his radar senses and superhuman strength, is the embodiment of tenacity. In a hypothetical confrontation, neither would win, for they complement each other, like two sides of the same coin. Compared to Captain America, both have their own advantages. Steve Rogers is a symbol of indomitable will, with his super serum and war experience. He is not only strong, he is a strategist, an inspiration to his teammates. Black Panther, with his Wakandan intellect and vibranium technology, is an opponent not to be underestimated. Elektra and Daredevil, thanks to the power of Fist, are able to confront them in short bursts, but the raw strength and strategy of Captain America and Black Panther often prevail in prolonged battles.